Midway through lockdown, thought I'd treat myself to a bit of lockdown lippy. I've got my furry assistant Vinny here today who is eyeing up the mic. So let's get on with this week's tips and brands that you need to know about. Featuring this week, how to make your roast dinners more sustainable in the dinner challenge. Bossing it, we're going to be looking at Rapa Nui, a really cool sustainable clothing brand. My tip of the week is the best way to take off makeup. Love Local features a reusable period pad company based in Brighton called Ethics. Your questions answered. What do you do with old coat hangers that you don't need anymore? Oh, fancy that! We're looking at my favourite mayonnaise. And then finally, check your inbox. We're going to be asking big brands why they continue to have plastic cups on their washing detergents. Roast dinners, one of the absolute comfort foods, arguably the ultimate comfort food, especially when the weather is getting a bit crap now we're heading straight into winter. But how do you make your roast dinner more sustainable? Now typically you'd have chicken, lamb, beef, pork and a vegetarian or vegan option. Now depending where you are in the country will depend how good that veggie or vegan option is. So here are 3 really simple things you can do to make your roast dinner that little bit more sustainable. Firstly, the veg. Make sure you buy your vegetables loose, or as many of your vegetables that you can find loose, whether you get them from your supermarket or whether you get them from a local greengrocer, which is probably best because you're supporting local and also they're more likely to have them loose. Second tip is to not peel your veg. See, food waste is a massive, massive issue, and the more food that goes to landfill, the more methane that gets produced and the worse it is for the environment. So what you can do is just give your carrots, give your spuds, give your parsnips, give them a ruddy good clean and just keep the skin on. Easy. The final thing you can do is swap your meat for a non-meat alternative. Oh, controversial. But a really, really good swap is pie. Everybody loves pie. Now, you can make some bloody delicious vegetarian pies and still feel like you haven't been shortchanged on your dinner. There's some awesome mushroom Wellingtons or like sweet potato savoury pies. You could have like a cheesy leeky pie. There's loads of stuff. So there you go. Loose veg, keep the skin on, vegetarian pie instead of meat. Done. The brand who I think are absolutely bossing it this week are a sustainable clothing brand called Rapa Nui. I first discovered this brand a couple of years ago when my dad bought me a beach towel that I can get changed in. So it's got a hood, it looks like a cape, and then when I come out of the sea I can put it on and I can, keep my dignity while I put on my clothes. I do look like a giant kid and a couple of my friends have said so, but I love it. And an extra reason to love it is because this company are mega sustainable.
Every year, billions of new t-shirts get made. And yet every second, a truck full of clothes is thrown into landfill. Just slowing down fast fashion won't fix it. But when we took worn-out material from the end and used it to make new products at the start, it changed everything. We use natural materials, renewable energy, and every product we make is designed to be sent back when it's worn out, so we can make new products from the material that we recover. And in our factory, we use tech to print t-shirts in real time, in the seconds after they've been ordered. We only make things people actually want and when they need them. So instead of creating waste, we're creating new products from it and rewarding people for keeping good material flowing.
So they only use natural materials. In their factories, they use renewable energy. When the material goes through the manufacturing process, any material that falls off, like little bits of offcuts or fluff or whatever, they collect up and that they use it again in a process where they turn it into things like paper. So it's I mean, there is no waste. Waste does not exist. Even better, they have a label in each of their items. So they sell t-shirts, coats, towels, all sorts. This label says, please return when you're finished. So, you know, when you have worn it to death, or when you are ready to hand it over and you're not going to hand it over to another person, you can send it back to Rapa Nui and they will put it through their manufacturing system again and recycle it. So they're keeping this circular economy. They'll even pay for the postage and packaging of returning your clothes. They are absolutely top notch as far as I'm concerned. So Rapa Nui, bossing it. So the lockdown lipstick is on and later I need to take it off. How do you take your makeup off? I used to use face wipes, but did you know that face wipes are mainly made out of microplastics, so they are not recyclable. They're single-use plastic, and dermatologists have told me that you don't actually clean your face, you're just moving dirt around your face. So the best possible thing you can do is use a flannel or something like a face halo and soap and water. I know it sounds old school, but this is actually a thing. Now, if you do have more stubborn makeup, whether it's eye makeup, because I know the ladies are, you know, it's a big thing. No, this is not for you, Vinny. Then a tiny bit of coconut oil, Vinny, a tiny bit of coconut oil rubbed on your eyes or on your lips, wherever the stubborn bit is, and then wash off and wipe off with soap and water, a flannel or a halo, is all you need. And I say a tiny bit, A, because that is genuinely all you need, and B, you do have to be careful that oils such as coconut oil doesn't clog up your pores and cause people to have any breakouts. I mean, he feels very strongly about this. So there you go. Tip of the week. Use old school flannels, face halos, soap and water, and a little bit of coconut oil to help with those stubborn bits of makeup. Community is really important. Community is made up of your neighbours, your friends, your family, and local businesses who have had a really rough ride this year. So it's up to us to be able to support them wherever possible. We need to buy from local wherever possible. So Love Local this week, I want to celebrate a company in New Haven in Sussex, which is fairly close to me, called Ethics. And Ethics make reusable period pads. Now, these are very important because a disposable period pad will take up to 800 years to decompose. Also, the bleaching process, the reason why they look so lovely and white, the bleaching process uses chemicals, and one of those chemicals is called dioxin, and dioxin over a period of time, over a long period of time, can actually be very harmful to our bodies. So we do not want to be exposing our most sensitive area to these sort of harsh chemicals. This funky old design is really comfy. I genuinely really like these pads. This was gifted to me. I was sent this pad because they wanted me to try it out, and I would not be talking about it if I didn't think it was ace. They've got 3 layers in here, so that's extra absorbent, and the middle layer has a little hole in it, so there's a breathability factor, and it helps with absorption as well. She teamed up, June, who is the founder, teamed up with a designer to really, you know, have a painstaking process to make sure that these stayed in place, and they really do. Honestly, there was no movement. I thought they were mega comfy. So Ethics, fantastic, loving local, loving your product. Question of the week has come from Suzanne from the Happy Gut Co. And she asked, what do you do with old coat hangers? And I didn't know the answers. So I have been rooting around. I've been doing some research. I also asked Sophia from Fine Tuned Wardrobe, what does she do? And here are the answers. So there is a few options for us. During lockdown, it's a little trickier. So you are going to be confined to online at the moment, but you can put your old hangers, whether they're decent plastic ones or decent wooden ones, put them online on a free website. Get rid of them on a free website. People love hangers. When the shops open again, you can go to your local charity shop, see if they need hangers. They often do. And you can also go into big shops like Marks and Spencer's and Tesco and TK Maxx, who may also take your hangers, especially someone like TK Maxx because they're not brand specific. And they have a contract with a company who will take all the hangers away and dispose of them properly or put them back into circulation. So, coat and clothes hangers, if they're not broken, give them away for free online, give them to a charity shop, or go into a big local superstore and see if they'll take them off your hands. Condiments, they can complete a meal. And one of my absolute faves is mayonnaise. And we here have the mother of all mayonnaises. And this is why I want to feature Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise in Oh, Fancy That. So yes, they have a vegan mayonnaise, and yes, it is the best mayonnaise that me and my husband Charlie have ever tasted. It's 9% less calories than normal mayonnaise, which is a bonus, but honestly, forget all the other reasons. It is the most smoothest, creamiest, most beautiful mayonnaise you will ever try. And the fact that it's vegan is an absolute bonus. So there's no egg in it whatsoever. It's also gluten-free. And the reason why we need to reduce demand for egg, we need to reduce our demand for chickens, because then we will reduce how much land is used to feed the chickens, and therefore we'll reduce how much forest is destroyed for that land. I know, it's a big old chain, and it just feels like just a simple jar of mayonnaise, but honestly, all these small little changes do add up to really, really, really big changes. Finally, we're going to finish with a little moan for check your inbox. Now, washing detergents, they come often with a plastic cap that doubles up as a plastic cup that you can put your detergent in, you can put it in your machine drum, and away you go, which is mega helpful the first time you buy one of these, but you don't need it every single time you buy a bottle of washing detergent. Why do brands continue to have them as standard on their bottles? So check your inbox this week is me picking two of these brands, Fairy and Ariel, two of the worst culprits, and just finding out why do they continue to add these plastic cups. There are so many other better brands out there. Ecover, for example. So there you go, standard top. This is a new type of bottle as well, so it's clear plastic, which means it's easier to recycle. They are plant-based, they smell amazing. I love this brand. There's also some really great alternatives at refill shops. My local one is Harriet's of Hove. I've mentioned them before. So there you go. I'm going to ask them why they still do it and what they plan to do about it in Check Your Inbox. That's all this week from both Vinny. Come on, say goodbye, Vinny Bubba. From Vinny and I, thank you so much for watching to the end. If you have any questions you want answered or any brands you want to celebrate, please leave a comment below. You can find me on all social media channels. Goodbye!